So today I want to make a fun video on just kind of my progress of living life and how it's kind of been for me. So as a lot of you may know, broke up with my ex, or she broke up with me about 5 weeks ago, and at that point decided to make some changes in my life to start really living life. And I kind of had this realization that I hadn't been doing a whole lot for the last almost 4 years. So within the last about 5 months, 5 weeks now, so done pretty much more than in the last four years. And it's been pretty crazy. I've done things that just got back yesterday from a ski trip, which was amazing. Flew up to New Hampshire with my dad, went for about a week, and it was my second ski trip, so it was cool just learning the basics. Can carve now and just getting off the ski lift, just the basics, so I can do enough to know what I'm doing now, which is really awesome. Whole time, which is a big thing for me, just doing that, taking a week off from work, the gym and everything like that was pretty big for me. It's not really something I would allow myself to do for those last few years, just because it was so stuck in my routine, just felt very obsessed with doing those things. And any time I tried to take a little bit of a break from it, it just would freak out. And even if I would do things, I wouldn't really be there mentally, because I would be thinking about getting back to work and just doing all that stuff. So it just would really hinder a lot of the stuff I would do. And when I did things, which wasn't that often, I wouldn't really be there doing it mentally, even if I was there physically. So for me, doing things like this, I went to a festival. I'm in Miami, trying to do almost every day one new thing. I've gone to museums, paradox museums, gone to interactive museums, I've gone to the beach multiple times, I've made new friends, went to the park, I went to as I mentioned, a festival, which was a 2-day thing, We Belong, which was insanely cool. Might go to another one, not sure, one's a little expensive, but I've just done a lot of living, and it's been pretty awesome. It's just been such a different way of life, and it's been amazing. It's not perfect, obviously. As I mentioned with the breakup, I still have times where I get these roller coaster of emotions, and it'll be painful, but for the most part, it feels like I finally turned myself on, like flipped a switch and started living life, and it's just been completely different, and for the better. Honestly, I feel just so much better actually being able to live my life now. And of course, I wouldn't have wanted it to have been caused by something like a breakup, but I mean, that's for me is what it took. And then I gotta just roll with that. But regardless, it's just been such an amazing thing. I think it's very important for everyone to get out and live their life a little, at least to some extent, whatever that is for you. For me, I enjoy doing things like traveling and ski trips and stuff like that, getting out to the beach, things. But whatever it is that you find joy in, I think it's important to get out and do those things, because I was always in a mindset of just, I'll work now and eventually I'll find that time to go do those things. But the years were flying by, and I would always get put off to a later time. And the funny thing about it is, with letting go, with not needing to always be obsessed with how things are going, with needing to work, or with needing to constantly monitor my body within the gym and diet and all that stuff, I found when I've let go and I haven't obsessed over those things, I've actually done better. I've done better in my work. I've done better being more social, expressing my emotions, being able to communicate, made new friends, just getting out and living. I've actually found that is helped those things that I obsessed over so heavily, they actually are better with me not being so obsessed over them, which is, it's ironic, but it's just a funny thing. And I'm glad that I could learn this when I'm 24 and not 70, because not a whole lot I would be able to do about it then. But as someone who was so heavily on the other side, just always was worried what other people would think, didn't want to live my life because fear would always hold back. That was another big thing too, just always fear-based things. Just don't want to do things because I'm worried about what someone might think, or what might happen if I do that, or whatever. Being so heavily on the other side, I can tell you that it is just the best thing to let go, to go live, to enjoy your life a little bit more, to go do those fun things. Just, if you ever want a good visual representation of it, watch the movie Yes Man with Jim Carrey. That's pretty much how I've been living my life. Just any opportunity I see, not every single one, but pretty much every opportunity I can see, I go for it, and it turns into a great experience if nothing else. Just cool. I tried that and it was fun. I went swimming out on the riptide with one of my friends, which was pretty dangerous, and he almost drowned. But I got a great story out of it. It was something that, unique experience that who knows if I get a chance to do again. And then something like tomorrow, I'm gonna do like an ice bath, the community thing with coffee or whatever, some meetup, which is, I don't love ice baths, but it's something different, something fun to try, get a good story out of it, nothing else, and move on to the next. So you need to find a balance in life, and I hated that for so long, the word balance, because I'd see these guys like David Goggins and all these influences, which I'm not saying are bad, but would just discredit the word balance and just say like, no, that's not true. That's can't have a balance. You gotta just be all in. And I don't think that's true, because in the end, we're gonna die. You are going to die, maybe sooner than later. And if you don't find time to do the things that make life worth living, you're gonna look down one day and it's gonna be too late. Who knows how much time we have? You gotta get out there, go live your life, experience this world, take a bite out of the apple of life. I read this poem, some guy, don't know what it is, but he talked about always waiting for the right time to take a bite out of the apple of life, and by the time he tried to, his teeth were rotted and they fell out because he waited so long to bite out that apple that his teeth weren't able to bite out it when he tried to. Like, don't make that you. And I know work's important. It's important to have money to do these things, but that's the thing. It's important. The money's important to do the things, not just to have and to, obsess over and that be the main thing. It's okay. Money's important so I can go travel, so I can go spend time with friends, so I can go on ski trips, so I can live, not just, Lamborghinis and big designer. I mean, if you like that stuff, that's great. But for me, I found more joy in experiences of life instead of just material aspects of it. And it's just one man's opinion, so take it with a grain of salt. But for me, life is meant to be lived, and it took something pretty traumatic for me to realize that. But I'm grateful it did happen, because I have been living my life in a 180. I wouldn't even recognize the way I was living a month and a half ago, which is crazy to think about. But for me, just keeping it up and just keep pushing myself to do things that are fun, that are out there, or make new friends, go take opportunities, say yes when the opportunities are there, just enjoy life, live it a little bit more, and just be alive, love, live, be happy, enjoy what you have, and just be in this moment. One thing I found with snowboarding, I would always kind of look down and focus too much on the movements, and it would mess it up. But when I just kept my head straight and focused on where I'm going, and just everything around it, stopped so focused on myself, just it became natural and became easier, and I just flowed. It's the same thing with life. Just keep your eyes on the road ahead, just focus on your path, enjoy the now, enjoy where you're going, and don't think about past mistakes or what's wrong or whatever. Just live and be in this moment and enjoy what's coming, enjoy this life, enjoy the now, and just get out there and live a little bit, because this life will go so quick. And I know it seems weird for me to say, so, only 24, which feels old for me, but besides this last month and a half and the time I spent with my ex-girlfriend now, last 3 years besides that were all just a flash. I could barely mention a single thing I did besides work. And some people might think that's great, but for me, that's just very wasteful. And wasteful of this opportunity of life that we are very gifted to be given, because not a lot of people get to be born. There's a lot more people who never got to be born than the people who did. So I still have my times where I get down and everything like that. I'm not saying that's not the case, but just got to get out there and live this life a little bit more. So that's gonna be it for this one. I appreciate you guys all for coming. Remember to live for the now. See you guys in the next one. Peace.